Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how are you doing? Right, word of advance warning. This weekend I have not one, but 2 new monthly shows starting, both that fit in very nicely with the ethic of the channel. So I think you're going to appreciate it, but more about that during today's show a little bit later on. Now, today's map, well, it's Friday, it's request day, and I turned to the BonBon buddies over on Patreon and asked them to vote me one in. This one was originally suggested by Delroy Clark, although the creator is now a BonBon buddy himself, and it came in with just under 50% of the vote. What is it? It's All Easy by MJ Berlin. Now this is quite a nice looking map from up here in terms of buildability, and obviously it's set to be easy. Easy for the newbie, easy for the old bee. Whether or not it'll suit the more experienced player, well, that remains to be seen. There's your resources. Now if I'm honest, a little bit scant. I'd like to see a little bit more, thank you very much, but that's not it. It's fine. Right, let's have a look on the workshop. What do you need on the workshop? And the answer is, well, nothing. No DLC, no requirements at all. Of course, we do like a little bit of background in the description, and we've got it there. Right, let's head down to ground level and have a look, and we see what we expect to see. Fairly flat ground, lots of vanilla trees, straight highways, which we could tell from the overhead, and we're heading towards a bridge. Let's have a look at the bridge. The bridge isn't bad, actually. It's not bad. Long, tapered in ramps, which is great. Maybe a little bit of a dip halfway up, but not too bad. It's tolerable. And very nice bridge across there, and then very cleverly stays elevated across to here, where we have a very nice cloverleaf vanilla intersection. Start square on the right, and then on the left it's elevated, it stays elevated to go across the railway before dropping back down to ground level on the other side. Anyway, very nice intersection, and nothing much to say about a plopped vanilla cloverleaf. It's plopped and it's cloverleaf. I'll say about that really. Because it's elevated, you can get some nice roads underneath in there as well. Bit of decoration, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, ramps back down on the other side, and we'll head along to the next intersection, which is a cloverleaf again at ground level. Okay, but on the left this time, the rail has gone elevated. Why? Because it's going to go over the river, so it's got the elevation early. That's good thinking again, good planning ahead again. I think the execution could be a little bit better, but it's not bad. We do have some street light clipping through though on the highway. 1, a 2, a 3, and what's the next number? Yeah, that one. Okay, and anyway, that goes off over that bridge there, which is elevated. A little bit of height on that, but we'll ignore that. Anyway, and then under the railway. Anyway, 2 new shows, yes. The Steam Chart Show and the Steam Chart Show for maps. Yeah, that's right. We're going to do a top 20 once a month, and in the short term it'll be of interest. In the long term, you'll be able to check back and see what was good a little while ago and have you missed anything good. I think it's a long term, it's a long slow burn show with a short term interest as well. I think you'll appreciate it. Anyway, looking forward to getting that out to you guys, recording it this weekend. Okay, then we've gone up high for the bridge here. Very brave to go across this little bit of elevated land here. Stays elevated as well as we go across, and I think it's the right I did stay elevated at this point before coming back down to my kind of ground level right into the fog. But we won't switch the fog off because we'll just follow the rail back out of it. There's no point in staying in the fog there. Nice, well, I'll say nice little section here. The loop, the rail loop. Yes, I think it could have been executed better again, but very brave to even attempt it, and it's not bad. Okay, I'm not saying it's rubbish. It's not rubbish. It's just lacking a little bit of finesse of the top map builders, But that said, it's pretty good. Anyway, we've got there that's we go up a little bit here and then drop down on the other side. If this could have been a little bit of a cutting through there, that would have been a little bit better rather than going up and then coming back down the other side. Just think the trains would have appreciated a little bit more in real world terms. Anyway, the elevated rail comes down slowly, comes back down to ground level, very nice, and before a nice gentle elevated ramp to get over this bridge. I'm not even sure the bridge needs to be that high, to be honest with you. There's no shipping route underneath it, and yeah, doesn't really need to be. Anyway, it comes back down to ground level again before going elevated, but elevated because of terrain. No bridge as such, it just stays level, and then comes back down to ground level again. So that's all pretty cool. Anyway, now this is where things certainly get a little bit more interesting. We have one branch off on the right that you can only get up to from that way. We'll have a look at that in a moment. We'll come down here. This is the main route that goes across the whole of the map in one big straight line. Okay, some of you will like that, some of you will hate it. This bridge, once again, nice. It starts elevated, and a nice gentle elevated ramp to get to height, which isn't really required because of no shipping route. And then when we get to the other side, though, it drops off quite quickly in terms of the rest of the ramp, and then it's gentle all the way down. Could have been just slightly smoother, and that would have been done by just keeping it slightly lower. But other than that, it's good to see. It's not bad. I've seen a lot worse. In fact, we have. As a team, as BonBonB buddies, we have all seen a lot worse, haven't we? And we've got streetlight clipping through the railway there. It's a little bit low. Just got to be careful when you're going for the realism of the height of the bridges by having a reasonably low one. You've got to check for those streetlights because they are naughty. Now here we've got another one here. We go elevated to go over a hill. That seems a bit silly to me. I'm going to try and fix it very quickly. First of all, you would drop the rail back down to ground level rather than elevated. I'm just going to use move it just to sort of like bring the track down to some sort of level. It's not a perfect fix here, by the way, guys. I don't have a lot of time to do this. I just wanted to show you what I mean by like a little bit flatter. There you go. I think the trains will definitely appreciate slightly flatter. If that was ground level, that'd be hardly an issue at all. Anyway, here's a train. Yeah, is that better, mate? Is that much better? Yeah, good. Glad you appreciate it. Anyway, this then follows off towards the fog, which means we can prepare for Friday's asset review. And today we have got an asset. We haven't had a Skyrise for a while, and this is a single asset. This isn't a modular one. This comes as is with the road around the back as well. It's Maytower's Rico. JSF1 is the creator, who we have seen before as well. Now the asset's pretty grey looking, which I like. I do like a grey, like mundane building. The texturing might be lacking a little bit of interest, of depth, but honestly this is more than adequate for most of you to pop in your city as well. I quite like it. And I do like the little roundabout at the back, which is, like I say, part of the asset as well. Very cool, very smart. JSF, very good. Keep building them like this, and we will keep subscribing. So that is Maytower's Rico by JSF1, and that is today's asset of the day. And off to Themington Island, where we're looking at Northern Tip by Nuelio with the Tubot Winter Lut. And we are, apparently, nightfall. And I can't understand why it's daylight. I think I've cut the wrong clip. I'm sorry, this is supposed to be nightfall. I failed you today. But anyway, let's have a quick look at some factoids, shall we? Factoids. The Salvation Army, the first Oxford and Cambridge boat race, and the first London omnibus all came into being in the same year, 1829. This should be nightfall. I failed. Oh my goodness me. And then one more. Lawrence of Arabia, the Marquis de Sade, and Dolly Parton. Never heard those three compared before, have you? Lawrence of Arabia, the Marquis de Sade, and Dolly Parton all had the same mature height of less than 1.67 meters, or 5'6" tall. Which for Dolly Parton, I mean, 5'6" for a woman, that's not exactly short, is it? It's not. I mean, for a guy, maybe, but no. Anyway, enough of that. Shipping routes. We have a shipping route that comes up here. We have a shipping route that goes right into the crevice there, and then one that goes up to that, and one that goes right the way up into there. Are these going too far into the crevices? Let's go back into. Do we really need to go right up into the top of here for a shipping route? Maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, is it a problem? Probably not. But just to point it out. Right, water flow. We have rivers, and the rivers flow with water. That's basically all I can say. I mean, people new to the channel will be wondering why I've even bothered saying that. And the answer is actually quite often we come across rivers that don't flow or flow backwards on themselves, or are all sorts of problems. So, speaking of which, there is a river with some problems on this map, but we will get to that later. Start square location. Flat, flat, big, flat, flat and big, and flat. Okay. it's flat and it's big. Okay, we covered that. Rivers. Rivers are okay. There's some variation. This little waterfall here, you probably get a dam across the front of that if you're clever. Bit further upstream though, I would avoid damming up here. This is a flood hazard up this way. Nice detailing in the river there, although we have some water glitching, and that is a problem with the rocks. They don't like water. They're covered in oil, and the oil and water don't mix. The oily rocks, that's what we're going to call them. We need a name for them. We've got our Jinky Janky, we've got our Lumpy Bumpy, and now we've got our, oh look at this, this is like something out of No Man's Sky rather than Cities Skylines. And I like No Man's Sky, okay? I might be the only person, but I like it. Very pointy, not a realistic landscape. Mind you, none of it is really. But some of you like it, and some of you do like it. In fact, a lot of you like it because there's a lot of subscribers to this map. Castle, yeah. Tower, yeah. I don't really know what they're trying to achieve with those two, other than add a little bit of interest to what is actually just a mundane environment. Okay, quite happy with that. Now if we head back down this way, we've got a little island in the river there, and we've got this river here. This river seems a little bit gouged, also lacking a little bit in water. Now is this because the map's just started, we ask ourselves, and I shall speed the clock on and see whether we've got enough water flow coming down here to fill the river up. But it just seems to be like gouged out rather than formed naturally, this particular river. Nice lake at the top though, be fair. Yeah, it's just like grooved through. Now let's see, this water just is not. I'll tell you what, we'll probably come back and have a look at this just before we do the rating and see whether we've actually filled up with water. Give it the opportunity to settle down, because sometimes the water flow requires a little bit of time once a map is launched. And of course, whenever I do a map review, all I'm doing is looking at it from the launch of a map. Right, what we got here? The Essential Lighthouse. Yeah, well, it's a okay location, I guess. I think it could be more interesting, but that is okay. Right, head back here. I'll just let time run a little bit. We're on high speed again, and no, we are just struggling. There's not quite enough water flow coming down there to keep the river topped up, and it stayed like that. So just in case you think I've not given the map a chance to sort itself out, I actually did. Right, aesthetically, it's a bit mundane. I mean, it's not horrible. I don't agree with the little pointy mountain things, but it's not unpleasant to look at. So the overall design's quite nice too. I'll give it 3 stars. Detailing, I was erring on going down to 2 stars for this one, but there's nothing that bad that deserves a slap on the wrist, so it gets a 3 stars for detail as well. Gameplay potential, there's not really too much holding this back apart from it's just a bit boring. A little bit, but then it's designed to be boring, so by design I think we'll give it 4 stars for gameplay because it does what it's intended to do and you can build on it, really, basically. All Easy by MJ Berlin, and that is today's, well, easy peasy map of the day. Easy peasy squeezy lemons. Well, thank you very much for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. If you want to get involved in the BonBonBuddy votes, you can join me over on Patreon for just $1 a month. And it's not really about the money. Honestly, I would be very happy to have 1,000 of you following me over there for just $1 a month rather than one person giving me $1,000 a month. And if that was happening, well, I could probably start doing this as a full-time job. Wouldn't that be great, eh? Imagine the amount of stuff I could put out. It'd be amazing. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Have a great day.